Right, there we go. Well, so if you just tuned in, we've got Jacob Anthony on, who's a chef extraordinaire, and he's been talking a bit about Christmas and getting prepped. What else have we got, fella? Well, anything else to talk about, or is that about it?
Well, what I would also do then as well is just to sort of give you sort of like, if you're planning different meals over the Christmas period, then get yourself a little planner or something like that, just to go, right, okay, let's do it. Let's write it all down, get it out of our heads, write it all down. So you won't then sort of, you won't basically sort of go, oh,
what we having today? What we having tonight?
And I forgot to pick this up. I forgot to pick that up, and then and then you get that sort of. If you're a parent, you get that parent guilt. Then basically you're going, oh, little Joe isn't going to have his mince pies today because I haven't got this, or because I haven't got that. Or we were talking about wines earlier then as well. Yeah. Now what I would say basically in terms of wines, and if you've got a sort of a white meat like a goose, turkey, chicken, that kind of thing, you're going to want to go for a white wine basically, and like a red meat then or a pork then, you're going to want to go for a red wine. One of my favourite red wines at the moment, there are Jam Shed, which is a really nice one. I think it's a Shiraz, basically, but there's those are the kind of things you want to do, and also then as well when you're looking at sauces to go with your meats then as well. Some people ask, oh, why applesauce and pork? There's a really good answer to that. Basically, the acidity in the apple cuts across the salt of the pork. So it's all about chemistry and balancing things out. So, which is why we have cranberry then for turkey and things like that, because it's all about balancing those flavors out then as well. And the other great thing, talking about say the pre-prep and stuff like that that we were talking about earlier with the veg, is you can do that for a couple of days then as well. So you'll do like a big batch and use it over a couple of days then, because veg in the fridge then you can have it say 3 days basically, up to 3 days, without the stress then, because what you don't want to be doing, because a lot of people have that thing of going, they'll have the Christmas day and the Boxing Day, and it's just all trying to prep, and it's all left. For me, in my family, it was left to one person. Yeah. Basically, and where's their Christmas? Where's their time spending with their kids and stuff like that then as well?
Yeah, if it's anything like me, probably getting smashed in the kitchen and having a jolly old time with headphones on. But that's just me. That's just me. No, but you're right though. You're right, and I think for me as well, it's because I'm doing the Christmas dinner this year. It is making sure you've got everything. It sounds logical, but let's start with the basics, knowing what you need to get, because you come back. Yeah. I went shopping the other day for something and come back and was like, I forgot one of the things that I wanted to get, and I was like, well, I've not even got that. So you can imagine if you do that at Christmas and you've not got all the necessaries, or it will also stop you buying too much, like just grabbing everything, isn't it? You know what I mean? Oh, I've got that.
Exactly, yeah. And then because what you don't realise, as soon as you walk through a supermarket front doors, you are being marketed to by the food companies. Okay, so they're putting things at eye level that are going to distract you from what you actually need. Yeah. You know what I mean? Because they want to sell. I don't know if you know this, but they actually sell shelf space. To the food manufacturers. So the more you bid, the closer to eye level there's premium spots in any shop. Like, for example, I used to work in Carphone Morris, and we used to have when I wasn't chefing, and we used to have premium spots then for Apple and Samsung, because they would pay more, basically. And there's food manufacturers that do that all the time in supermarkets. So you'll be, if you don't go in with this little list, you know what I mean, then you're at the whim of the food manufacturers, basically. So yeah, so those are my main things.
Yeah, good. I mean, we got to start from the basics, haven't we? Getting the basics right. If you're gonna build a house, you need to dig the foundations. There's no point us going straight into all the wonderful things you can do with the food before you've got the basics right. I think that's fantastic, mate. Fantastic, and it's great that you're on the Duggystone radio show. I love it on our Friday.
I've been shouting about this all week in my group, in communities I'm in and stuff like that, because I was so excited, honestly. I really was. I was just like, oh my God, I'm on the radio. It's going to be fun.
Cool. Well, we're going to be doing this regular slot every Friday. I've got Sandy lined up, who is the spice guy, who is obviously totally different, and which is great. So we're going to have a bit of.
I can't wait to see him actually, because I've been watching his videos, and he's really good.
Yeah.
And spice is a whole different specialism, I think, as well. There's some chefs try to sort of dabble in it, that kind of thing, but I think you've got to go all in on that kind of thing.
You have. Right, before we go on, I'll carry on my little show. Because you started off doing bread. How did you start? You started off. That's what really intrigued me at first. You started with your bread, didn't you, and serving the local community. What was that all about?
Yes. So basically, what happened was I got dropped into a little village where I am now. Didn't have any money. All I had was what was in my head, basically, and I had about £20 in my back pocket, enough to buy a baking tin and some ingredients for some dough. All I did then was basically I thought, okay, what does everyone need every week? I thought, well, bread. Bread is, everyone's going to buy bread. So I literally baked a loaf of bread, put it on the Facebook for sale group, and I said, look, I'm making loads of bread, and I priced it the same price as Marks and Spencer's do, because it's an artisan loaf.
Yeah.
And literally, I just had orders coming in. I just started with orders coming in, and I was doing it bespoke then, so that I was doing it to order, so that then I didn't have any sort of any loaves left over.
Yeah.
So it was just taking those little 2.99s and turning them into more money, basically, and then using the power of networking, which is how I met you, then to grow it UK-wide, basically.
Brilliant,
so it's really as simple as that. If you've got a skill, you can turn it into money. Literally, it's that easy.
Brilliant, mate. Brilliant, mate. Well, thanks for coming on this morning, and we'll be doing this every couple of weeks with yourself, and we're looking forward to evolving this show and bringing people the power of feeding themselves with ingredients, which is going to be great. Yeah, well, mate, it looks like you've ate a few bits and bobs yourself there, rubbing your tongue.
Thanks. Never trust a skinny chef, they say, isn't it?
In fact, if you put a white beard on, you could have gone and earned some money as Father Christmas. Just saying.
Thanks very much, Kirk. I love that.
See, the thing is, you see, I don't think about what I'm going to say. I like to be as surprised as everybody else what comes out of my mouth. It's as simple
I think we know that point. So do I, to be honest. And that's the thing. My mates actually take a notebook. When I want to rant, they grab a notebook and they just write it down what I'm saying and stuff like that. So yeah, excellent. Thank you so much for the opportunity to come on.
No worries, mate. Thanks for coming on. I'm going to let you go. And because you're talking about bread, I'm going to play Seamless Link, a track from the band Bread. And I'll see you on the other side, mate. Thanks very much, Jacob. This is just for you, fella.